Hello and good afternoon or morning, everyone. I hope that today is treating you well. And I just have, we got a few things we need to catch up on. This is January, and in the church calendar, this is kind of an important time of year. This is the time of year when we are talking about and trying to figure out the budget for the coming year. Now, for us here at the Bridge Church Spanish Springs, this is a particularly exciting year, and that's simply because for the past 3 years, we have been operating on funds that we received through a property sale from a handful of years ago. You see, back in the day, I was part of a church called Emmanuel First Baptist, and the church got to a point to where there was some changes that needed to be made, and we had decided together to go ahead and sell that property and do something different. And that's exactly what we did. We ended up merging with the Bridge Church Reno, and here we are all these years later. Well, we sold our old property, and that is what gave us the funding needed to start our ministry in Spanish Springs. And part of the plan was at some point between 3 and 5 years, we would operate under our own budget. And that's where we are this year. In 2021, this is our third budget year, and it is time. It is time to go ahead and do that on our own. And what that means is that there's going to be changes to our budget, and that is okay, and it is all part of church life. And I am sending out a newsletter directly after this video today that will have details of that. But the long and the short of it is last year we received $95,000 in giving, which is really good. It's really good, considering that we're smack dab in the middle of a global pandemic and we still receive that kind of money. That is a good indicator to me that we have the support needed to continue forward, and I believe that we do. And besides, how silly is it to let a little something like money, right, stop a ministry? So the finance committee and I have been meeting for the last couple of months, and we've worked up what we think are some pretty good solutions so that we can continue to operate. And we've come up with a few different scenarios. And like I said, I'm going to put out a newsletter directly after this that's going to have all that information. But on Sunday, January 31st, we will have our church's annual meeting, and we will have it over Zoom. Of course, because of the COVID restrictions and that sort of thing. But before that meeting happens, that's where we're going to vote on our budget. And so that everyone has the clearest possible picture of the coming budget, I would encourage you to read the newsletter. And then Sunday the 31st, directly after our 10:30 service, so at about 11:30, anybody who wants to talk about the budget or has questions about it, we will be getting together after church to answer some questions. And then the 31st at 5 p.m. will be the church's annual meeting. And everybody should have already received the Zoom link for that. And we will... the Zoom link for that, let me see if I can put it up for you. Yep, look at that. What do you know? So the Zoom link is cutting off the bottom part of my face, but that's okay. You can go to here and you can get right in and be part of the meeting, and we're also going to vote on our budget that day as well. So I would encourage you all to be there, and so that you can vote. It's just that easy. The budget initially might seem a little complex, but in reality it's not. It's basically a few different budget ideas based on our giving and based on a few other things. One of the things that we're talking about is we may be looking for a new meeting location. Our current lease is $3,500 a month, which it's not bad, but it's more than we would like to pay, and if we can change that for the better, we most certainly will. Also involved in that is my salary, and so based on our income versus where we are and what's going on is going to dictate each quarter which budget scenario we go with. And like I said, those scenarios are detailed out in the newsletter that I will send out directly after this informational video. So if that didn't confuse you, great. If it did, listen, you can reach out to me. You can get me on the email at darren@thebridgereno.com. You can also text or call me. Most of you do, in fact, have my phone number. I'm a fairly easy guy to find. So please feel free to reach out to me and ask me some questions. You could also reach out to the folks that are on the finance committee, and also those names are included in the coming newsletter. So with all the budget stuff wrapped up now in the annual meeting, our kids program is set to reopen on February 6th. And due to COVID, we have really downscaled it so that we could be as safe as absolutely possible. So pretty much if you have kids that are in the 5th grade or younger, we will have programming for them. And of course, the nursery is separate from the kids ministry. So if you have a baby, we've got a place for your baby as well. And that is on February 6th, basically a week out from this coming Sunday. And before I get out of here, I think that the theme of our coming year is going to have to be perseverance. Although I am very, very excited to see what God is going to do in the coming year as we begin to operate under our own budget. At the same time, it's going to be hard work. It's not going to be easy, and I'm going to be asking a lot of everyone. I'm going to be asking a lot of you physically with helping out with different things at the church. I'm going to be asking a lot of you financially, because to keep a ministry operating, in fact, it takes people and it takes money. And both of those things are vital to us to continue to be part of our community the way we have been. And I hope you understand that what we've done in the last 3 years is no small feat. We have done things in the name of Jesus, more things in the last 3 years in the name of Jesus than a lot of churches ever do. And I am so proud to be part of this church. But we're going to have to remember to keep our eye on the prize. Paul writes in Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, "Let us not become weary of doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And there may be a time or two in the coming year when we want to give up for whatever reason, but we're not going to. We have a big job out here, and we serve a big God. There are roughly 35,000 people in this community, and a lot of them have never even heard the gospel. So we've got things we got to do this year, and we cannot be slowed down by something like money, okay? So with all that said, I just encourage you to reach out to me or somebody on the finance committee to get more info or clarification on the budget. And in the next 30 minutes, the newsletter will come across on our Flocknote app. If you have not signed up for that, please do. You can sign up for that simply by doing, I just got to find it. If you text Bridge space SS to 84576, you will be able to receive all of our updates and news. And in this case, you're going to receive the newsletter. That's how I send our newsletters out. And you will also, through this, be able to get the Zoom link. So please sign up. And like I said, I'll send out that newsletter in the next 30 minutes or so. One day I'm going to, it's all about camera angle. If I move the camera back about 8 inches, I wouldn't cut my face off. But the problem is I don't have 8 inches to move it back right now. And that's okay. For those of you who have been giving, thank you. Words aren't enough. Words aren't enough to share with you how humbling it is to know that you guys are in this all together with me. And if you would like to give, you can, of course, give online at thebridgereno.com, or you can text Bridge SS with no space to 77977, and you're like 3 clicks away from giving. So please feel free to do that. Or you can go old school and you can send your gift in the mail, or you can just bring it and drop it in the offering box, whatever suits you best. Well, folks, with all that said, I hope to see you Sunday, if not sooner. I hope you have a great day.